Yeah, so it's just a simple example is the paper process. We all know paper processes are not efficient, right? If an employee takes sick leave and they don't have enough sick leave, we don't find out until it hits payroll. Payroll has to contact the manager has to talk to the employee. There's a whole process that could be so much simpler if we put an automated system in front of the employees and their managers. Payroll managers face, if they're using a paper system, hundreds or thousands of paper timesheets that they have to wade through, carefully file and make sure they're dealing with. Managers who would rather be spending their time doing productive work, building things or overseeing the building of things, spend their time bogged down in paper processes. And both parties know that this isn't necessary, and that doubles the frustration. The problem with old systems is that frustration I talked about remains in the business. Everybody knows this can be done better, but it isn't being done better. And they want to work for a company that is proactive, that is progressive, and that is adopting new technologies, that they all expect to be using phones and devices in this age, not pieces of paper and faxes and couriers. Customers that use TimeFiler are confident. Employees are confident they are paid correctly. Managers are confident that the time has been accurately recorded. Project managers are confident that they know the productivity on the project. The business is confident that it's billing customers correctly, that they won't have to go back and fix things up in arrears, and that they know what their staff are projected to do for the coming months. This is all possible through implementing TimeFiler in place of the old systems that simply do not give that same level of confidence. So a simple example is that with a paper system, the best companies can do when it comes to costing labour to projects is to come up with an amount of money per hour and hope that that's close enough to represent how much this employee costs. TimeFiler allows us to accurately take all the different payments the person gets. We can apply margins, we can do really clever stuff to come up with a much more accurate reflection of their cost and include that in billing information to the customer. If we know what an employee spent their time doing yesterday, and we know it's correct, and we know what they're going to spend their time doing tomorrow, then we can much more accurately report against the budget, report on future productivity. We can much more easily plan what we need in the workforce for upcoming jobs. Everything improves through our better capture of data and a more timely capture. Sometimes when I visit customers, literally, there will be piles of paper that have been couriered, faxed, or brought in by hand. The amount of time that we can save the business in processing through all that information manually, the same process every single week, is enormous. And it isn't just in the head office. Out in the workforce, we can make it easier for employees to record their information. We can make it easier for managers to make sure that it's correct. And we can show the information to the right people to get it right in the first time. Straight away, we get an improvement in productivity through spending less time in the process and more time building stuff and doing what we're paid to do. It's easier than they expected. For companies, they can simply say to staff, you just record what you did. Give us a start time, give us the end time, put down the work that you did, and from that point forwards, TimeFiler makes sure that they are paid correctly, that managers, the correct managers, are shown this information to approve it and affirm anything that might be better for sequence, and to get it through to payroll and to job costing to attribute it to the projects and get the person paid correctly. The whole system is much easier to implement than customers expect because it is easy to use once it's been configured to meet what they need it to do. I think that it enables customers to do what they always knew was possible, but just hadn't quite figured out how to do yet. That simple mantra of you just put in what you did and we will make sure that your time is paid and costed correctly is a very easy one for the business to understand. And employees are comfortable to use their own device that they use for other purposes for recording this information. Managers likewise find it easy to pick up and use, and find it much more straightforward than the processes they were following before. The right way to do this is to get it right the first time. And that's what we've achieved over the last 20 years with hundreds of customers. People who are nervous are worried that when they put this in front of employees and managers, that there's going to be resistance from the business. We'll help you to make sure that it's configured correctly so that when people use it for the first time, they feel positive. And that positivity leads to success. It's as simple as that. Talk to us. We like spending time talking to prospective customers to help them figure out if we think that TimeFiler can make a difference in their business. We need about half an hour to have a chat to you about the processes that your people follow at the moment, what you want to do over the coming years, and we'll quickly help you to figure out if TimeFiler is a solution that you should be considering implementing.